What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Drew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to talk about center Drew Dalman. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Drew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Drew Talk Sports membership, you can also hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today's video, I do want to talk about center Drew Dalman and why Drew Dalman should be the top priority in free agency for our Atlanta Falcons. So Drew Dalman has been with our Atlanta Falcons for the last 4 years, and he was one of those guys we drafted out of the University of Stanford. And coming in, he struggled initially, but the Falcons did a great job with Dwayne Ledford, who's the offensive lines coach, in developing Drew Dalman. And you guys know that I'm a huge advocate for developing players. And Drew Dalman, to me, is one of those guys that has turned himself into one of the best centers in the NFL. So he is one of those guys that's going to be a top free agent. And I really feel like it's very important to re-sign the players that you develop. And because the Atlanta Falcons have developed Drew Dalman, he's turned into a really, really good player. I feel like the Falcons should make him the top priority in free agency. He should be the first player that we try to go out and re-sign to this Atlanta Falcons team. And being that the center is the person that makes all the calls on the offensive line, they're like the heartbeat of the offensive line. I really feel like Drew Dalman is one of the nastiest centers in the league. Very good at getting to the second level in the run game. And we know that our offensive line is one of the best offensive lines in the league. And it's going to be very important that we can keep this offensive line intact. All 5 guys up front with Drew Dalman, Bergeron, Lindstrom, Matthews, and McGarry. It's going to be important that we keep these 5 guys together, that core unit together, because they've been one of the best units in the NFL. And we know that protecting the quarterback should be top priority. We just saw in the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs was not able to protect Pat Mahomes. And that was the difference in that Super Bowl football game, was the trenches. So as much as I always talk about the defensive line and that the trenches matter, the offensive line is very important as well. And if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, with the offensive line that they arguably have the best offensive line in the game, and they have a really good defensive line as well. So it's going to be very important if we want to be contenders in the NFC to continue to compete for the playoffs and possibly a Super Bowl or a championship in the near future. I feel like Drew Dalman is one of those guys that we need to keep on this roster because he's one of the most intricate pieces on this offensive line, because he has that familiarity playing alongside of these guys that's currently on this roster. I really feel like it's going to be important to keep that offensive line intact moving forward. But you guys give me your thoughts on Drew Dalman. Do you think that Drew Dalman is worth the amount of money that he's going to try to garner? I know that the Falcons right now, the cap situation is really tough because currently we're over the cap. But this is why you pay Terry Fontenot. This is why you pay those financial people this top money. They're going to have to find a way to cook the books. They're going to have to find a way to create more cap space, whether that's extending Jesse Bates, whether that's extending a Jake Matthews or a Caleb McGarry or a Lindstrom, or restructuring some of these deals. At this point, you can't afford to let Drew Dalman walk. If he does eventually, get signed in free agency by another team, then that possibly means that that's going to have to be one of your top priorities in the draft, is bringing in another center. But personally, I would lean towards giving Drew Dalman a solid contract to bring him back for the next 3 to 4 years, so you can have this offensive line intact moving forward. So with that being said, this being your boy Drew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.